Hello everyone, in this video I will be talking about the land reform, and this video is part of my preparation for lecturette which is going to happen which is a part of my SSB. So let's begin what actually land reform is all about. Okay, of land reform which has been introduced recently by the Uttarakhand government. So again, let's start. Hello everyone, I am Dipanshu Pandey and the topic for my lecturette is the new land reform. The process for land reform is not very new. Has been a very long-lasting demand from the people of Uttarakhand, from the government ruling in the state. This new process, the new land reform, which has been recently been applied or has been practiced, happened in February 2025, but the process began in last year 2024 in February, where the bill was passed and it has been actually implemented in the ground in February 2025. So, what exactly new land reform is all about? Initially, a couple of governments back, when the new state was formed, there were some restrictions on the purchase of land, and initially it was around 500 meters square, which means that the outsiders can buy the land in Uttarakhand state for a limit of 500 meters square. Then the next government reduced it to 250 meters square, and in 2018 what happened is that the ruling government removed any kind of curbs which were implemented in the state, resulting which a lot of people after the lockdown, the trend was seen that a lot of people came into the Uttarakhand purchasing a lots of land. And what major thing which was observed was a lot of corruption, black money was parked in the form of purchasing land in the state of Uttarakhand. So due to which, what happened? As if you look at the demographic of Uttarakhand, the population in itself is very low. Just like Himachal Pradesh, the majority of the people are from hilly areas, due to which when this a large influx came into the Uttarakhand, the bigger challenge they found was a danger to their original identity and the cultural heritage. As lots of people started buying land, they could sense that their original identity could be in danger, as originally as in itself the Uttarakhand is facing a problem of lot of migration, where lots of individuals from the state are moving to the other states in order to find job or for occupation. As a result, then more and more people are buying land in here. They could see that they are just losing any last hope which they had to generate their own occupation in the state. And with purchasing of more and more land, what could be observed was there was a rapid increase in the land prices. So I feel with this new land reform, it's going to put some restrictions over exchange, over transaction which was being done in the state. So in the new land reform, the major decisions which have been taken is that out of 13 districts, except 2 districts which are Udham Singh Nagar and Haridwar, the outsiders are not allowed to buy any agricultural land or horticultural land, whereas they can buy a residential land which up to limit of 250 meters square. And there has been several steps have been taken by the government where they are integrating technology with the current land reforms. With that I mean that they have brought up this reform where you need to integrate, you need to link your land and property record with your Aadhaar card. You will have to register it online, so it is going to be a centralized system where you have to upload all the land paperwork which you have bought in those systems. And this is going to give a leverage to the government to keep an eye on all the practices, whether they are being executed well in the ground or not. But still, considering that the outsiders are allowed to buy residential land, still can be act as a loophole for the government, because people can buy land in the name of residential plot and can begin their own business or something like that. So it will all depend on the execution, how these new land reforms are being executed in the ground. Along with it, affidavit would have to be signed by a owner or the person who is buying the land in order to showcase his intention, what the actual intention is, and it will be regulated by the administration whether the land which was being purchased, stating the reason, is being used for that specific purpose or not. And with all being said, I feel this is going to cover up the major vulnerabilities which the person were holding, the local people which they were holding, and is going to curb a misuse of land, allowing the local people to perform, to work on their economic rights, to get their economic for their welfare, economic welfare. They can use their land for the agriculture purpose and can help thrive the nation, help thrive the state of Uttarakhand. Whereas this is going to be a major downside for investment as part as well, because with this new rule, we can see that lots of investors will be hesitant, or they won't be given a window to invest their money. And whereas it is good for the people, from the government perspective, to limit the inflow of black money, whereas this is going to be demotivate the genuine investors who are willing to invest in the state of Uttarakhand. But being said earlier that there are two districts where the people can invest their money. These are mainly the plain areas. Otherwise, as we all know, Uttarakhand is a hilly state. So only these two states, which is Udham Singh Nagar and Haridwar, has been allowed for the investors to invest their money. So, and they can even invest in the agricultural land. The intention is to protect the rights and the cultural heritage of the people of Uttarakhand. So thank you for listening to me. I hope I made my point clear. What the actual new land reform which has been made, I'm not getting the word, which has been made, applied, which has been recently been applied to the state, is all about. Thank you for listening.